Hey guys, today I'm going to show you some of the unexplained carvings of this ancient temple called Thirumayam. This is a giant carving of a breathtakingly beautiful woman, but experts are not able to explain who she is. She has many strange features. One is this line exactly in the center of her body. See how it is shown as a thin bump protruding from her skin. Today, this is exactly what the doctors call a traditional thoracic incision. When surgeons operate on a patient's chest, this is the traditional way of cutting to start the surgery. And a few months after the surgery, this is exactly how the skin heals and the scar looks. But how could they carve this detail in a 9th century temple? Did this woman undergo some type of surgery 1,200 years ago? If so, what type of surgery was it? And look carefully at this piece of her clothing. Here, it is coming out of her waist. Here, it is going above this first belt, but here, it is going below the belt, and it comes out here. In reality, there is nothing up or down. It is just one stone. So this is all an illusion. And that may be the key to the statue. This could be Mohini, the goddess of illusion, an unstoppable force that cannot be understood but only felt. And she is shown as a giant because you can see two humans here. They look tiny compared to her. This one, who's close to her hand, looks astonished to see her beauty. That's why he has placed both his hands on his cheeks, giving us a clear sign of surprise. Now, what is the other man doing? He's trying to push her hair sideways so he can also have a glimpse of her beauty. This man is also quite excited to see her features. Right next to her, you can see another giant carving of a male figure, equally impressive. Who is he? With no inscriptions, how can we identify this figure? A picture is worth 1,000 words, but every ancient Indian carving is worth 1,000,000 pictures. Look at his hand. What is he holding in this hand? It looks like a knife, but there's no handle, right? It is an arrowhead. He's holding the front portion of an arrow. Why would he do that? Look at his other hand. What is he holding here? He is holding his own eye. He has cut out one of his eyes with an arrowhead and is holding it in his palm. Now, what is he going to do with that eye? Look at the bottom of his feet. You can see a lingam, a symbol of Shiva. He's stomping on this lingam. Today, if somebody stomps on a lingam, there would be riots in India. But see how this man is wearing fancy shoes with multiple straps and is stomping on Shiva himself. Who is he? The answer lies in ancient Tamil texts. This man's name is Kannappa. He is considered the greatest devotee of Shiva, and he was willing to donate both his eyes while he was alive to Lord Shiva. There are a lot more details in this carving. They give us a lot of description about what is going on. But this temple is not only known for these giant carvings. There are many unexplained smaller carvings as well. Look at this carving. What is this? It's just a big fish, right? But if we observe carefully, we will see another fish that looks smaller in size inside the body of the bigger fish. Now, this is confusing because we can come to many different conclusions. Has the bigger fish swallowed the smaller fish? Or is the smaller fish merely swimming on top of the bigger fish? Is the sculptor showing how this fish is growing in size? But there is another strange detail. There is a tiny little fish carved next to the mouth of the bigger fish. What is this one doing? Today, we can watch these smaller fish like remora swimming alongside sharks because they can get leftover food as well as protection from them. But the question is, did ancient people also study these animals, just like how we study marine biology today? How did they understand the behaviors of these fishes more than 1,000 years ago? Here, you can see a seahorse. Yes, it does look very much like a seahorse with its rough edges on the outside and with a horse-like head on top. The interesting part is that seahorses are marine creatures, meaning you can only find them in seas and oceans. You cannot find them in a lake or a river. You have to go to the ocean to find them. How did ancient builders observe and carve it in this temple? Here again, you can see some more fish, but this carving shows us something extraordinary. The fish are in the center, and you can see an interesting pattern carved around it. Today, we call this pattern chacana, or an Incan cross. Historians widely believe that Incas, the ancient people of South America, created this pattern around 13th century. But this is a 9th century Hindu temple in India. I have repeatedly shown you such similarities between ancient cultures around the world. But what does this pattern actually represent in this carving? And why are there fish in the center? This could be a plan, a rough blueprint for a temple tank. You can see the steps leading into the tank from 4 cardinal directions, and each entrance has about 5 steps. So where is this temple tank? When you turn around and see the actual temple tank, it gets even more confusing. This is also a complex pattern. The tank is in an octagonal shape with 8 sides, but it has 8 entrances with 8 set of steps leading into the water. Even today, there is a lot of fish in the water in this tank, and perhaps this is what is shown in the carving, but both the designs are quite different. Is it possible that this is how the tank is designed under the water level? It looks like an octagon on the outside, but does it have this chacana design on the inside? This may be the case, but it's impossible to prove this theory unless we dive into the water. Here's a beautiful carving of the national bird of India, the peacock. It is carved with some spectacular details. It is holding a small snake in its beak. It looks like a little cobra with its open hood. And at the bottom, you can see that the peacock is holding a giant snake in its claws. The snake looks quite distressed, and look how its tail is going into the body of the peacock, making it oddly appear like the peacock's tail. But the peacock's actual tail feathers are shown at the top with a lot of details. Once upon a time, they may have even painted this carving, which would have been a spectacular sight. You can even see the tiny feathers on its head, and this is called a crest. And recent studies show that this little thing is actually a very advanced sensor. This crest vibrates at the exact same frequency as the peacock's tail. And when the male peacock rattles his tail and crest, the female will not only see him, but also feel this vibration of love. Speaking of love, here we can see a carving of a man with a very big stylish hat. But what is he doing? He is sitting on a bird, and see how his hair is blowing at the back. He's riding a super fast vehicle, which is this bird. What bird is this? It looks like a giant parrot. And see how he's using a bow to shoot an arrow while riding on this bird. You may think someone carved this after watching the Avatar movie. I'm sure you've seen the Na'vi people riding on flying creatures and shooting arrows from bows. But this temple was built about 1,200 years ago. Now, let's find out who he is. Let's look at this carving right next to him. Here, you can see another figure, again, riding a bird. You may wonder why they carved the same figure twice, side by side. When you look closely, however, you may realize that this is a woman. Her long hair is made into a bun at the top. She is also holding a bow in her hands. And it's quite clear that this man and woman are looking at each other. But who are they? They are the gods of love. He's Kamadeva, and this woman is his wife, Rati, according to ancient Indian texts. Historians are still wondering why the gods of love around the world are always shown flying with a bow. We can see the same features in Eros, the Greek god of love, and in Cupid, who's the Roman god of love. What is the symbolic connection between fight, flight, and love? And here are the weirdest ancient carvings you may ever see. There are two animals standing erect like humans and are facing each other. Their bodies look like lions, but their heads look like elephant heads. If you look carefully, you can even spot the tusks near their mouths, and you can also see their trunks. But they also have thick horns like the horns of rams. And their trunks, this is where things get really twisted. They're so long, the trunks are taller than the animals, and they look thin at the top. But at the bottom, you can see how they become really bulky. Even more strange, the ends meet at the bottom and a weird rhombus shape is formed between them. What is going on here? Can you decode this carving? And you can also see regular elephants carved in this temple. Here, you can see this elephant. At first sight, you think it's a wild elephant eating something from a tree. But if you look carefully, you realize it is covered in full armor and a fancy belt. This elephant is being used in a battlefield, and see what it's doing here. This is actually a flag. It looks like a large leaf, but no tree will have just one giant leaf. This is a flag, and the elephant is destroying the flag and the flag post itself. Look at the bottom, the flag post is getting uprooted from the ground because of the weight of the elephant. Now, let's decode this one. A figure with a long helmet and huge earrings. They're so big that they don't even look like earrings. They look like they're attached to something at the back. What is it? But we are into elephant research now. So look at the bottom. There's an elephant on the left. It is clearly an elephant as it has a trunk, a fat body, and a small tail. But the strange part is that the elephant looks tiny in front of this figure. Look, it's almost acting like a pet dog. The elephant wants to climb up to the man like it wants to play. And look at what he is doing. He's rubbing the elephant's head, just like how we rub and scratch a pet dog. What is shocking is that the elephant is not even able to reach the hip of the man. So who is he? He's not human, but a god. This is Lord Vishnu, and he has actually just saved this elephant from danger, and the elephant is thanking him. This story is called Gajendra Moksha, meaning the liberation of the elephant king. Again, we can see an interesting pattern. The gods are shown as giants, while humans are shown smaller in size. Did we actually have a race of giants walking the earth at some point? Not only are the Hindu gods shown as giants in front of humans, giants are shown again and again in ancient Egyptian carvings and paintings. The Egyptian gods are almost always shown as giants compared to humans. The Bible talks about a race of giants called Nephilim. You can see giants mentioned in almost all ancient cultures around the world. Is this a mere coincidence, or did giants actually exist in ancient times? The main problem in understanding these carvings is that we are analyzing them individually, and we're not going to look at the connection between one carving and another. We are simply assuming that these carvings are unrelated. But what if they are? What if each carving shows one scene from an ancient Indian epic, like the scenes of a 2-hour-long movie? And this one temple alone has hundreds of carvings, so it's very tough to piece them all together. How are all these carvings connected to the gods? What was the true purpose behind building these ancient temples? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I am Praveen Mohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.